Knoxville and I, we were down in Baton Rouge together, and we were, two different versions of a similar animal. Like, we were just, we had a big studio budget behind us. We were in a small college town, and he and I basically went out every night, like every single goddamn night, and had a ball, like got into wild, weird adventures. And, part of what his thing is, they pull gags on people. They trick them. They hit them with shit. They drop pills into their drinks. They just fucking do shit like that. And, he would hit me in the nuts repeatedly, and I would hit him back in the nuts repeatedly. But it'd be a surprise moment. It would be like, I'd be giving this emotional speech to the crew, thanking him for all the help, and he'd drill me in the nuts. And you're like, this fucking guy. And then the other thing was, like, whenever if you went into a porta potty, he was going to flip it.
We're not like that in philosophy departments.
And I saw Sean William Scott going to porta potty, and I'm using this guy. I'm shooting with this guy. And Knoxville's like rocking this fucking thing, and Sean is, and I'm like, I don't have time for you to get shit all over this guy. You cannot flip it. And he's negotiating with me outside as and he's holding it, and I'm like, it's funny, it's great, but you can't flip it. And he doesn't flip it. And he gets it. And Sean gets out of there. He's like, oh my God. And so, fine. Now we're done with the movie, and it went well and all that, right? Made money. We were a success in Warner Brothers size. And so now it's like a year and a half later or so. I don't know the timetable. And Knoxville calls me. And we're buddies. Like, we hang out. We go to parties together. We whatever. And he's like, hey, I need you to come over to the house to talk about a thing we're going to do in Jackass 2. It's called Terror Taxi. And I'm a huge Jackass fan. Like, only the movies, because when I saw the show, I was like, I don't know. It doesn't really seem like something I would like. So I never watched it. Then I went to see the movie. I was like, oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. So, I mean, just the greatest thing I've ever seen. I couldn't believe how funny it was. So he's like, hey, you want to, I have a thing for you to do in number 2. And he goes, you have to play, what I need you to do is play a taxi driver. And so immediately I'm like, wow, I don't want to be the Indian guy playing the taxi driver. Even though, what's wrong with that? But I'd already made a career as an actor. Like, I'm the one who broke the boundary of what Indians can do. I did it for myself. I'm like, I'm going to play this character. I'll play that character. And it was fine. And it's done. It's already done. I did it. But still, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to play a taxi guy. Well, maybe. Fuck it. I'll come talk to you. So I go to his house, and he's there with Spike Jones, and they're like, okay, here's the deal. Aaron Danger, I don't know, is his name Robinson? I know that's...
I don't think so.
It's not? Aaron Danger something, right?
Okay, look it up.
Yeah. His middle name's Danger. And
McGaley,
right? That's right. They're like, we're going to pull a very complex prank on him. And it requires, acting. And so what we need from you is you're going to be the cab driver, and you're just going to, whatever, don't worry about that. We are going to put Aaron into a dynamite vest, and we're going to cut our pubic hairs and create a beard for him. He's not going to know it's pubic hair. We're going to create a fake beard for him. He is going to have like a Middle Eastern accent. We're going to put a cuff, whatever that thing is, on your head. And one of the other guys is going to be holding a camera next to him in the same, all that shit, all the whole war robes and beard. And in Aaron's mind, he's going to the Burbank airport with a dynamite vest on, and he's going to dick around with the travelers. And we're going to, in his mind, we're doing hidden camera, him dicking around with travelers at Burbank airport.
I can't believe he bought that, but then it is Jackass. So.
Yeah, and he goes, and they go, but look, if he goes to Burbank Airport, we've talked to the FBI. They're gonna shoot him. They'll shoot him. So you're the cab driver. You're gonna pick him up. He's gonna tell you, take me to the Burbank Airport, and on the way, he's gonna fuck with you. He's gonna sort of fuck with you as a little snack before he gets to the Burbank Airport, and he's gonna make jokes about blowing up planes, and you're gonna see the dynamite vest. And you're going to drive right by Burbank Airport and never get near it. Because if you do, you guys, the FBI's following us in this thing. They're going to pull it over. Gag will be over. He's never getting to Burbank Airport. And you're never getting to Burbank Airport. In fact, what they said, I misspoke. They're like, you can't even drive near the Burbank Airport. It's not allowed. And so I'm like, okay. So you'll be on your way, and then he's going to insult you so much that you're going to screech off, pull into an alley, and you're going to turn around, you're going to punch him in the face. And the goal of the punch is going to be to disorient him and make him feel like you control him as an animal. You know, the way people kind of control, like when one animal dominates another, right? He goes, you got to punch this guy in the face. He'll be disoriented. You're going to get out. You're going to pull a fake gun. You're going to drag him out of the car. You're going to stomp him with your feet to make sure he's further dominated. You're going to put that gun in his face, and you're going to get him into the trunk of the car, and then close it, and you're done. And I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? You want me to do all? How the fuck am I going to do? They're like, he's not going to even. I said, first of all, I'm in Supertroopers, motherfucker. Like, this generation of boys knows me. And he goes, yeah. But he's going to be so up his own ass, thinking about his accent and what he's got to do. He's not even going to see you. You're going to be an invisible Indian cab driver to him. And I'm like, you want me to do an accent? They're like, we thought about it, but we think it's better you just play it your voice. And they were like, and I'm like, I said, here's the problem. I said, you motherfuckers, I know what you guys are up to. This is some bullshit to fucking con me. And you're going to fucking con me. I'm the fucking mark. He's not the mark. I'm the fucking mark. And they're like, normally you'd be right. Normally we'd be here to fuck you over. But this time we're fucking him over. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. But I know you're going to fuck me over. I know you're going to, yep, normally we would. But this time we're not. And Spike is like, yeah, man, we're going to fucking, it's going to be great. And you're like, okay, sure. And so I'm wary. And on the day of it, I come over, and they're like, "Hey, do you mind if, do you have pubes, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, do you mind if we get some pubes so we can put them on his? It'll be a little funnier if your pubes are on there too. And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." They're like, "Do you mind if we send a camera in there with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." So you go in there, you're shaving your pubes, and the cameraman's going low, and I had my dick. I'm in show business. I know what I'm doing. And they took the pubes and added some last-minute black pubes to his beard. And then we did it. And, I picked him up, and he started insulting me and my wife and the country and talking about blowing up planes. And I got lost. I'm following a van with all the equipment in it, and Knoxville and Spike and all those guys are in that van with listening equipment and the cameras for the taxi. And I get lost, and the van's behind me. So I'm leading this thing, and I'm like, I don't know where the fucking alley is. And I realize I'm driving by the Burbank Airport, and I don't have an earpiece. I'm like, holy fucking shit, the FBI's going to fucking take this thing down. So I'm flooring it, and the guy's like, hey, there's the airport. Like, he's trying to get me to stop at the airport. And I'm clearly blowing by the airport, which is not the plan. And then the van speeds ahead of me, and I'm like, and they lead me to the alley, and he's screaming, "We got to go back to the airport, right?" And I fucking go into that alley. And what I said to those guys was, if I'm an actor, right? If you tell me to punch a guy in the face, I will do it. I said, but is it totally? I mean, I'm going to hurt him. Like, I'm going to, I might bloody his nose, because if you really want me to dominate him, I'm gonna have to make it painful a little bit. And he goes, and Spike is like, he's probably right. I mean, what if he just bitch slapped him? And I'm like, okay, I could do that. So I did. I bitch slapped him, and I pulled him out, and I did stomp him, because I'm like, that feels a little less brutal than me punching a guy in the face who doesn't expect it. Let's be honest. I don't really want to sucker punch him. But the thing that was so funny was that what he was most worried about was that the cab driver would have a gun. And he said to Spike and Johnny, Danger Erhardt, he said, this guy's going to have a gun. And they're like, no. We cleared it with the cab company. This is a guy from the cab company who does not have a gun. We cleared it with the cab company. So when I pull the gun, he's like, I knew he'd have a gun. I don't know if you can remember that, but he says that. And then I put, when you have a gun put in a guy's face and you've hit him and kicked him and stomped him, it worked. It dominated. I dominated him mentally, and I got him to get in the fucking in the trunk. And they were, and then the guys ran in after that, and they take these 2 blocks of wood, and we're all yelling over each other like there's something, and he goes, boom, boom, like it's a gunshot. And you can hear him freaking out of the thing. And then a driver came in and pulled donuts. And then we opened it up, and he's like dizzy, and we're all standing there laughing. And then he looks at me, he goes, wait, are you an actor? And I'm like, come on, right? What do you mean? I mean, I made Supertroopers, motherfucker. But it went off just so beautifully. And then we told him, that the pubic hair on his face was our pubic hair, and he threw up. And it was like, how could it go better than that? Like it went so well that it almost, like, some people are like, come on, was it fake? Was it really? Was it just fake? And I'm like, no. I mean, no. It was fucking 100% real. And Knoxville and Spike, they're true artists. Like they're like these artists who do these insane stunts. And so, the story I always tell is that Knoxville was doing, I think it was Jackass 2 that opens with him blindfolded with a cigarette in a bull ring. And it might be 2, might be 3, I don't know. But he's standing there, and, they're about to loose the bull, and the bull's fucking agitated already. They've made sure of that. And it just starts drizzling in a minor way. It's minor drizzling. And they loose the bull fucking flips, hits Knoxville in the knees, flips him, right? And he gets up, and everyone's like, yeah, you fucking did it, it was fucking great. And he looks at the end of that cigarette, and he sees that there's a drop of water right at the end of the cigarette. And he goes, was this cigarette smoking when that bull hit me? And everyone's like, yeah, that's fucking smoking. You're smoking it. And then he's like, no. At the moment the bull hit me, was this cigarette smoking or not? And he goes, let's look at the fucking tape. So they go look at the tape, and a drop of water had landed and snuffed the cigarette out, moments before the bull hit him. And he goes, well, that's not the fucking joke. He goes, that's not the joke. The joke is, there's this guy smoking a cigarette, and then he's shot while he's smoking. So that's the fucking joke. So let's do it again. And so he fucking put the blindfold on, light another cigarette, agitate that bull, and they fucking drill him again. And he goes, stands up, and he goes, now that's the joke. And you're like, wow, dude. I mean, we're committed to our jokes. We'll fight tooth and nail and manipulate and do everything we can to get the exact joke on screen. I recognized a brother in him when he did that, and clearly someone who's going further than we are. Because wow, I thought, wow.
If I were ever to receive the call to work with Jackass, it would be the most terrifying call I could imagine. But
it's terrifying. Yeah, it's terrifying because they're. You not only will you'll be the focus, you will experience physical pain. If you got hit in the face with one of those huge boxing gloves, that's painful. While you're holding hot soup, that's painful.
Did you ever? I'm sure you did watch South Park, at the beginning.
Yeah. I was I was around when South Park was created. Not I had nothing to do with it, but I mean, I was in LA pitching Supertroopers to the studios and any financiers, and we became friends. There's a VJ on MTV named Duff. And Duff, when we were moving from New York to LA, said, "You got to meet my friend Amy Cohen." And I'm like, okay. So the first thing I did when I moved in, I roll it into LA. I call Amy Cohen. She's George Clooney's assistant. And she's like, it's like 6:30. We get to LA after driving cross country. And she goes, "What are you doing right now?" And I'm like, we're pulling into the fucking place. She goes, "Okay, we're going to a park." And she comes over, picks us up, and drives us way up the fucking into the Hollywood Hills. And we end up at this party at the top of the fucking cliffs of Hollywood Hills. And I'm like, it's this guy, Trey Parker, and Matt Stone's house. And she's like, "These guys are super funny. They have a little short film I'll show you another day." And so we're like, okay. And this, Trey Parker walks up with a bowl full of ecstasy, and we're like, all right. And we took ecstasy, and we're like, the sun came up. We were at another party. We're like, me and Steve Lemmy were like, oh, and there was a nude model swimming in the pool at this other party. And we were like standing there going, "I kind of like LA." And shortly after, Amy showed us this a 90-second short, which was the characters from South Park. And it was George Clooney had paid them to make a Christmas card for him. And he sent that Christmas card out to everybody he knew in show business. It was a VHS videotape. And every single meeting we had for Supertroopers, they would go, "Have you seen this fucking Christmas card?" I'm like, "Yeah, then let's see it again." And we watched it over and over and over. And out of that, they made that Comedy Central, like, "Let's make that show." And they made that show. And then they kind of